In the news this week, record median price drop recorded in Perth's property market.
And historic key handover ceremony marks the completion of the new Midland Hospital.
This is the Evening News with Ivan Lund and Daniel Staniscar.
Good evening. Property prices in Perth have dropped dramatically due to the end of mining boom. Meanwhile, average rent has dropped to $440. Helene Fong reports.
Many political and economic heavyweights debated recently whether Sydney and Melbourne have housing bubbles. Meanwhile, Perth's market is softening.
There is no better time to find value and to find opportunity. And you could probably get into properties that otherwise you couldn't even dream of.
Real Estate Institute of Western Australia just announced that property sales has decreased 17% compared to the same week last year, and a whopping 32% drop compared to the same time 2 years ago. Both properties listed for sale and for rent have increased significantly compared to the same period last year.
I think properties have stabilised now, so quality properties are worth buying now.
The investors really now, because of due to low interest rate and low dollars, they should come forward to invest.
Sellers always think they're losing money, but when you're selling and buying in the same market, and if the market is soft and it is falling, they've actually got a better opportunity to buy back into the market.
What about for renters? Well, it depends on where you're renting and how much more construction has there been in your area.
This is just another cycle we're going to go through. And the opportunities will be for people who want to downsize and move into the CBD in the next 12 months to gain a good opportunity. Rent will fall, and it's going to fall quite savagely in the Perth CBD area.
Helene Fong, WAMN News.
There's excitement in the area in Midland this week after Brookfield Multiplex hand over the new hospital key to the Health Minister. The best news is that the project is on time and on budget. Marianne Candler has the details.
3 years after the construction of the new hospital began in Midland, the building is finally completed. The St. John of God Midland Hospital was handed over to WA Health Minister Kim Hames, opening a new chapter to better healthcare services for the eastern suburbs.
It is a magnificent building, and being here 3 years ago and turning the sod, just had no image of what the hospital might turn out to be like.
This new facility will add 307 beds into the health system, treating 29,000 inpatients, 102,000 outpatients, and 60,000 emergency patients during its first year of operation.
One aspect of the new hospital that I'm really pleased about is that there'll be children's ward here, and so this will be much better for families, for children to be able to be cared for here in Midland. 1,000
people will be hired to run the hospital, which will open its doors in November this year. Marianne Candelora, WAMN News.
The opposition claims that they've uncovered a $600 million budget blowout for the new $1 billion Burswood Stadium. Their comments come after the Department of Sport and Recreation confirmed a cost blowout of $1.6 billion. However, the Treasurer denies the claim.
Frankly, to produce a budget that has an out year of 18-19 and has a full year of the stadium operations and not include the operating impact in the budget is not transparent. And that's one of the key points we're trying to get to.
The Premier's always made clear that that figure that he talked about is the cost of construction of the stadium, and to suggest otherwise, as Labor Party are doing, is just nonsense.
Politics is set to get a lot more interesting, with Dick Smith planning to challenge Prime Minister Tony Abbott's seat in the next federal election. During this week's radio interview with our Canberra correspondent Blake Danielsark, the 71-year-old entrepreneur said his political stand is an attempt to raise awareness towards aviation safety.
Now, I want us to follow the overseas system where you remain talking to the radar operator until you get to the bottom of radar coverage. Now, that has the potential to save lots of lives, but I've never been able to get anywhere, and if I can't, I'm going to stand in Tony Abbott's seat, mainly to get publicity on this ridiculous situation.
Veteran movie actor Christopher Lee has passed away at the age of 93. Mr. Lee was famous for his distinguished role as the Dracula during the 1960s. He has also won many fans for acting in movie franchises such as The Lord of the Rings and Star Wars in recent years. Mr. Lee died in hospital on Sunday after undergoing treatment for respiratory problems. Tributes have poured in from social media platforms including Facebook and Twitter.
Interpol has decided to suspend their anti-match fixing initiative with international soccer governing body FIFA due to the alleged corruption scandal. According to reports, the Integrity Sports program, which began in 2011, was aiming to tackle match fixation for a 10-year period. In a statement, Interpol said funding parties need to declare that their activities were compatible with the principles of Interpol. Meanwhile, FIFA has expressed regret over Interpol's decision.
And those are the stories you need to know this week. We have the latest news on our website.
We'll be back after a 2-week break. Until we see you again, good night.